I recently read The Courage to be Disliked by Ichiro Kishimi and Fumitake Koga. If you're unhappy, it's not because you were born into an unhappy circumstance or ended up in an unhappy situation. It's because your unhappiness serves a purpose. Any chronic anger, anxiety, or stress is a tool to achieve a hidden goal. Adlerian psychology, a century-old framework for human behavior, explains that we choose to remain in a negative state because it makes us feel special, avoid rejection, or meet social expectations. If someone says something hurtful, we might hold on to that hurt because it would make the person who hurt us feel guilty and have them go out of their way to make it up to us. The hurt becomes a tool to get the attention, kindness, and sympathy we desire. Anger works the same way. We get angry to be noticed. Shouting is our way of saying, "Look at me." If we're in an emotional rut, we might unconsciously want to stay there because it allows us to avoid doing creative work that might get rejected and say to others, "If only I didn't feel so stuck, I would be wildly successful." Likewise, feeling too drained to go out spares us from having awkward conversations and dealing with potential rejection. Even stress about our finances, health, or career is perpetuated by the goal of meeting social expectations. Now, imagine you're the only person on the planet. Since there's no one to impress, no one to reject you, and no social pressure, you simply go about your day, gathering food and building shelter, and are free of the emotional turmoil that plagues modern society. But thankfully, we don't need an apocalypse to be free of all the hidden interpersonal goals that are a source of our problems and unhappiness. We can resolve most of our interpersonal problems and eliminate chronic unhappiness by altering how we relate to people in two fundamentally different ways. First, realize there are no vertical relationships. We have a chart in the back of our minds that compares our self-worth to everyone we meet. The people above us have achievements or abilities we envy, and the people below us have few qualities and accolades we value. This constant assessment of others fuels inferiority and superiority complexes that wreak havoc on our emotional lives. When you feel inferior, you tend to obsess about how those above you, who are either more successful, happier, fitter, wealthier, or better looking, are judging you because you crave their approval. Feeling less worthy than those you admire is exhausting and erodes your confidence. Now, if you happen to see yourself above someone else, the qualities that give you a sense of superiority, looks, income, status, start to own you. You grow terrified of losing your position, so you live in constant anxiety. In both cases, constantly ranking people above or below you on the worth chart makes everyone your enemy. People are either blocking your climb or threatening to take your place, which makes life a hostile, exhausting competition. But what if the worth chart was flattened? What if there was no gap between you and any other person? Picture a world where every relationship is horizontal, where everyone has the same worth simply because they exist. This belief change would quiet the majority of your emotional turmoil, because there would be no one above you to impress and no one below you to feel threatened by. You can achieve this utopia by recognizing the inherent worth of everyone society ranks below you and erasing the perceived gap between you and the people above you. Consider a newborn baby and an elderly man with dementia. Neither has the conventional achievements or abilities that would give them high worth in a typical sense, but their worth is undeniable. A baby brings joy and meaning to its parents simply by existing. An elderly man in a nursing home who is holding on to his life reminds his children of the love and values that he passed on to them. As long as someone is alive, they have worth to someone in some way. Their worth is neither greater nor less than ours. Now, to erase the perceived gap between you and the people above you, realize that advantages are completely subjective. The most obvious advantages in life, like wealth and fame, can be golden chains tying people to obligations they didn't choose and robbing them of the freedom to walk away. If you sat down at a table with people you perceive to be above you and everyone laid out their problems on the table, you'd probably take back yours. Once you realize that the worth gaps above and below you are an illusion and everyone is walking on the same plane in the same direction, you stop letting inferiority and superiority-based goals rule your life and just focus on becoming the best version of yourself. Now that we've eliminated all vertical relationships, it's time to clearly separate relationship tasks. There are two primary tasks in every personal interaction. Your task is to find the best way to contribute. Their task is to form any opinion of your contribution that they wish. In short, your task is to give while giving others the freedom to choose what to think and what to do with your gift. As a parent, your task is to provide opportunities for your child to learn and grow. Whether they take advantage of those opportunities is their task, not yours. At work, your task is to show up and do your best. Whether others approve of your efforts is entirely up to them. Interpersonal problems arise when you try to interfere with someone else's task. It's like telling someone how to do their job. You may hope for praise and appreciation, but it's not your task to make sure you get those things. Your task is to contribute by using whatever position, knowledge, and skill you have to be uniquely useful to other people. Your contribution must be so obvious that you don't need any acknowledgement from others to feel a sense of contribution. Your contribution will often align with your craft, like coding, managing projects, or writing legal briefs. But most of the time, your contribution is much simpler. As a father, I have a unique opportunity to contribute to my son's life by simply playing games with him and giving him my undivided attention. Sometimes the best contribution is to give someone space to figure things out for themselves, paired with the confidence that they'll succeed. The more you assume the task of being useful, the happier you'll be, because true and lasting happiness is a feeling of contribution. If you don't feel better after giving to someone, then you're not giving from a place of strength, or you're not choosing how to give. When you know you're doing what you can to give to other people, and you feel joy doing it, you can go to sleep at night not worrying what other people are thinking about you. At this point, you've developed what authors Kishimi and Koga call the courage to be disliked, which is the ultimate freedom and the remedy to unhappiness. That was the core message that I gathered from The Courage to be Disliked by Ichiro Kishimi and Fumitake Koga. The book is written in an enjoyable dialogue format and contains a ton of thought-provoking ideas. I highly recommend it. If you would like a one-page PDF summary of insights that I gathered from the book, just click the link below and I'll email it to you. If you already subscribe to the free Productivity Game email newsletter, this PDF is sitting in your inbox. If you liked the video, please share it. And as always, thanks for watching and have yourself a productive week.